Welcome to Subramani. Continuing our discussion on being wealthy and being rich and being wealthy. How wealthy you are is a function of what are your desires. So when you have more than what you desire, you are rich. You don't. It's not a sum of money. It's a matter of attitude, right? So somebody who needs 3 crores and he has 6 crores, he definitely feels wealthy. Whereas a person who needs 9 crores has 10 crores, he does not perhaps feel as wealthy. So it's not about an amount of money, it's about what your desires are. So largely your net worth doesn't determine how wealthy you are, your desires do. So if you have desires which are still unfulfilled, and if you're rich, make sure that you join the process of converting yourself from being rich to being wealthy. Right. So what are the steps needed to become financially wealthy? First of all, to become financially wealthy, there is no doubt that you have to raise your income. I have done videos saying why whatever people say, think and grow rich, Napoleon Hill wrote a book, all that is fine, but if you can't increase your income, you cannot create other passive income. So first of all, try to increase your income. If you have to change your geography, if you have to go from Timbuktu to New York, or from anywhere else to London or Singapore or Dubai or Mumbai, I mean, if you have to come from some smaller town to Mumbai, or go to Delhi, or go abroad, whatever it is needed, or get a new qualification, change your employer, whatever you have to do, first you have to increase your income levels. Because if you want to be wealthy and having created different sources of income, right? So to do that, you need to first of all become rich, in the sense earn well, so that you can spend, pay taxes, and still be able to create other sources of income. So first of all, you have to create your own high level of income, because without a high level of income and having paid taxes and then having the money to invest, only that is the route to becoming wealthy. There is no doubt about that. Once you raise your income, invest the surplus in a diversified or multiple assets, right? So any asset which you are comfortable with. Maybe you are comfortable with equity, maybe you are comfortable with real estate, whatever, but those assets which don't give a fixed return. So saying I earned a lot of money and I put everything in a savings bank account or in a post office does not create wealth. It has to be assets which appreciate. And among assets which appreciate, you also have to have diversification. So you may have some gold, you may have some real estate, you may have some equity. You may have 90% in equity and 10% in the other two assets, or you could have 90% in real estate, typically like what a builder would have, and the balance could be in equity and gold or whatever. But these are 2-3 assets which can create wealth. But remember, gold does not create wealth in the long run. During short periods, it looks like it is created fantastic amount of wealth. So be careful about the asset allocation between these also. But yes, having created income and having a diverse set of income producing assets in which you are investing, and then having said that, manage it well and keep reducing the risk, right? So risk of taking critical illness insurance, etc. And if it is family wealth that we are talking about, taking adequate insurance so that in case something happens to you, in case of death, the family gets money. Taking having good qualifications, that is an insurance against being unemployed, right? So all those things you take, you earn well in a diversified set of assets, and you ensure that if something goes wrong, there is a backup. Right, so this that's also necessary. Creating additional sources of income, passive income, and extremely important in the process of getting wealthy, plan the lifestyle that you want. So if your hobby is running, it's not a very expensive hobby. Of course, some people make that also expensive, but some hobbies can be more expensive. So right from where you're spending, how you're spending, with whom you live, right? In a group of billionaires, a millionaire can feel very inadequate, saying, oh, I'm not a billionaire, right? I'm just only a millionaire. Or if you shift to a place where everybody else is much poorer than you, you may feel more wealthy, right? So because if you remember, I said wealthy is a mindset, rich is about cash flow. Right. So what else can you do, and what are the basic differences between being rich and being wealthy? Being rich is about having cash flow and showing off the cash flow, maybe attending parties, buying assets, showing off the toys to people and saying, look, I have this kind of a thing, I have arrived at kind of statement, reaching in a particular brand of a car, wearing a particular brand of watch, wearing a particular brand of dress, right? It's all that show which is necessary, because the show of assets for is what a rich person has. He is not yet converted to becoming wealthy. A wealthy person, on the other hand, has enough cash flow, has got assets which he does not bother to show off, because he's got, say, mutual funds, equities, etc. There's nothing you can show off. You cannot wear it around, you can't wear your portfolio around your collar and say, this is my net worth, right? So that's not the purpose. So you may have similar, Mr. Wealthy may have a similar level of income as Mr. Rich, but he'll have much lesser show-off assets and much more hidden assets. Like all his assets would be in some computer. It's not visible to the outside world. It is not hanging on his wall in the house, right? So that is the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And obviously the rich person has one source of income, the wealthy person has active income and passive income. The passive income could be greater than the active income. Mr. Rich looks much better in terms of visibility, which means the show of assets are more. The wealthy person may not have enough assets to show off, but has perhaps much better cash balance and passive income and things like that. So these two videos taken together, or 3 videos taken together, is the difference between, we have defined what is rich, what is wealthy, what is the difference between the two, and what is the process of getting from rich to wealthy. Thank you.